What is up, Copy Squad? It's your boy Kyle Milligan coming to you live from Boca Raton, Florida. And today I want to talk about what your copy must say first and later. And this is a result of some cool revelations that I had. Whoops. Today I want to talk about what your copy must say. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I am testing out this new thing called StreamYard. So my computer keeps overheating when I use OBS. I'm feeling my computer right now. It feels kind of warm, but I bought this $2,500 computer and it overheats every time I stream. So that's very frustrating. Anyway, I'm trying StreamYard, so there might be a little bit of weird technical stuff going on while I do this. Anyway, so the conversation today is about what happens or what you should be talking about early in your copy. And then of course, that the reason it's what you'll also talk about later is because when you bring it up early in your copy, it's going to be something that you're going to tease now to bring in that excitement that you will have to, it's sort of like you have to pay off later. You can open the loop now. It must be paid off later in the copy. And this is kind of a sort of set of breakthroughs that I have experienced as a result of my most recent and ambitious promo with my new company, Wealth Press. So I just started working with Wealth Press in the end of August, early September. I've kind of been dark for like all of September because I busted out like one of my longest promos and again most ambitious promos and launches pretty much in my career, and I just wanted to be like nose of the grindstone for that. But I've got like a little list of things here, kind of like breakthroughs that I noticed while I was doing the research for this promo that I think is key, crucial to getting your promo or your sales letter or your sales argument set up initially, and then basically promising or paying off that same thing on the back end later down the road. Now, if I hope for anyone who's tuning in or is in here right now, let me know if the audio quality is fine. I'm trying to use my mic on this new program, and I want to kind of share some of these insights that I had from my recent promo here. All right, so far so good on StreamYard. I'm enjoying it. It looks all right. It's clean, and my computer hasn't burned up. So I'm going to jump into these things. Okay, cool. So coming off of this, so one of the things that I do inside the Copy Squad is where is it? This one. How do I get my fingers right there? Inside the Copy Squad is very important for this lesson. So every 2 weeks, I submit a new sales letter breakdown, and I noticed a pattern when I was breaking down 2 of Money Map's promos. Actually, it was in Agora Financial's promos too, and it's a certain flow of the storyline, the story arc of copywriting that I think is critical to setting up your sales letter and sales argument, knowing where to start, where to go, and how it will end. So I kind of want to lay that out for you right now in the way that I saw it. And let me see if I've got a window pulled up that I can kind of just share. Okay, so I'm going to just jump into this. I don't really have like a really super straight, awesome strategy laid out. So let me break this down. Saw this while doing promo breakdowns in the Copy Squad. Okay, let's go ahead and just share the screen next. How do I do this? Is it this? Okay, so cool. Here's the whiteboard. And this is kind of going to be where I'm going to be sharing this stuff. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is I found it best to kind of break your promo into 4 pieces, and I kind of have this idea from Save the Cat. So Save the Cat is a screenwriting book. Let me show you. Yeah, I'll just show you really quick. Save the Cat. So Save the Cat, it's this book right here, the last book on screenwriting you'll ever need. And this book has been really useful for me in kind of figuring out like a way to approach the structure of something as big and sort of overwhelming as writing an entire sales letter. And one of the things that he suggests in Save the Cat is creating a beat sheet where essentially you have 3 acts, like every movie, play, or something story is broken into 3 acts. And then he basically breaks Act 2 into 2 pieces. And I've found that with copy, you can do the same sort of thing. You can kind of break it into 3 acts and then kind of split Act 2 into 2 pieces. So you have 4 acts. So here's what it'll look like. And this is something that I'm going to be pursuing at a more scholastic sort of academic level as I go forward. So thing number 1. So this is kind of how it would be. You got that lead would be Act 1. And then okay, here we go. The body copy you've got two pieces. John says audio was good. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. It's really important. All right. And then you have the offer. So this is Act 3. So boom, there. This will really, I mean, it did for me. It made a huge difference in understanding how in the world to approach this massive. This was huge for me in learning how to approach this massive task of creating this 40-page sales letter, right? So you've got Act 1. So this is Act 1. You've got Act 2, and then this will be Act 3. Okay? You got the lead, then the body copy, and then the offer section. And if you're in the Copy Squad inner circle at kylethewriter.com/squad, you'll see stuff like this. I kind of break the sales letter into these three pieces already, but then I started to notice there is another sort of flow to it. And what I think we'll be doing is looking at it sort of like you have in the lead, you're going to introduce a big promise. Okay. And then once you introduce your big promise, the first thing, if it's a big enough promise, as it should be, one that captures attention, inspires hope and desire, the original response, the very first thing it should initiate is the BS radar, in a way, of your consumer or reader. So they should kind of be like, oh, that's a big promise. I don't believe it, right? Bullcrap. So the next thing I saw, and I got this from breaking down, I would say the last 3 sales letters of our Copy Squad inner circle breakdowns has made this more and more apparent to me. Like I'm seeing like this is actually how they're doing it. And it seems to be a consistent thing for 7-figure promos. So when you do the promise and you trigger the BS response, the next thing you can follow it with is no, this is real because of something new. So this is sort of like your why now sort of deal. Like what has made this possible? So I can say, you can now make $10 zillion from the markets. Well, everyone's going to say, bull malarkey, I don't believe you because I've heard that promise before. I said, no. Because of a breaking new Wall Street something or another, or a new trend, or a market anomaly that recently been discovered, or a Pulitzer Prize discovery, or Nobel Prize scientific revelation, right? So boom, boom, boom. You introduce the big promise, and then you say, thanks to some sort of giant sort of catalyst. Okay. And now this is where I had like a weird, like my brain started to I had to pull apart some things that I thought were one. I used to consider like the catalyst and the mechanism when I was doing my breakdowns. I would always label these the same thing. And in my breakdowns, I use a purple pen for the mechanism. And I would say, well, here's a mechanism, and here's another mechanism, and here's another mechanism. But the truth is after doing it 3 or 4 promos in a row, I realized that one is a catalyst. One is the catalyst that causes the mechanism to be available today. So let me actually change colors if I can here. Get this a little bigger. Get rid of this. Okay, so this stuff's here, right? So we've got, I'm just, also for anyone just tuning in, I'm trying out this new tech called StreamYard.com. Feel free to comment, let me know how you like it. If it looks clear, that's something that's very important to me, is that it comes through in HD, that you can actually see it. That was a big problem with OBS. And the other thing was OBS caused my screen to overheat and freeze, and I'd lose frames, and that was terrible. So let me know how the quality of this is, if you're enjoying it or not. All right, cool. So the lead is going to hype up the big promise, right? You got the promise. And then you kind of explain away the big promise, and you kind of come back to say, no, this is totally possible because of some sort of breakthrough scientific discovery, some new nutritional discovery, some sort of scientific journal prove that this is the thing. You see this all the time in like pharmaceutical commercials, like, hey, if you're having trouble losing weight, then it's probably not your fault. Science has recently revealed a endocrinological hormonal imbalance in your brain that causes you to be fat and lazy. Right? So that's how like pharmacies sell you diet pills. So that's that whole setup. It was right there. And then, so what they did is they tell you this problem that's been persistent, they can fix it. Hey, if you are, for whatever reason, you can't lose the weight, we can fix it for you. Well, you say, I've heard that 1,000 times. And then the clever pharmacy commercial will say, no, thanks to a scientific breakthrough, right? Thanks to some catalyst. So you'll be looking for that sort of language, right? You'll be looking for thanks to, X, Y, Z. Okay. And I can show you a zillion examples of promos like this. That's where I spotted this inside of other promos. So you'll say, oh, thanks to a recent scientific breakthrough, we found out the real cause, the catalyst of your problems, or the catalyst is the breakthrough itself. We found the solution. Thanks to this solution, we now know it's this one hormone issue, right? So we've gone from the big promise to the catalyst, okay? So what comes next? What comes next is the actual mechanism, which is something that I've been kind of tied up on, and I haven't really understood the difference between the catalyst and the mechanism until recently when I was trying to put together my own promo using this format. And I realized, oh man, like these are different. Like I need to set up the storyline needs to go in this direction and follow these steps. And I can't consider the mechanism and catalyst to be one thing. So the mechanism now is the pill itself. Okay. So, hey, you can't lose weight. Hey, but thanks to a scientific breakthrough, we've discovered that you can lose weight. It's a hormonal imbalance. What causes what fixes the hormonal imbalance? The pill, which is the actual mechanism. Okay, so the mechanism fixes the problem. Okay, and then that's okay. So notice how that's kind of redundant. I got promise, catalyst, mechanism, and then at the top I got lead, catalyst, mechanism. Right. So in the lead, you set up these things. You set this up, okay? And then there's a bunch of other little things that you'll want to do in here. You'll want to establish some sort of credibility will be in there. And generally, that's kind of it. Like you kind of want to tie it to the headline is another big deal. Tie to headline. And that's really important too, because you can't just like have like an attention grabbing headline and then not tie it back to the headline, or else that won't work, okay? So we're done with the lead now, right? So this is kind of like very important stuff. So that's your lead. Now in the catalyst, there's like a couple easy things you should do in here. So once you're in the catalyst, and I think this might be the topic. Like if I write another copywriting book, this is what I'm going to write about. Like the beats, right? This is the beats of a sales letter, right? And that's what screenwriting is you come up with the beats and then you fill those in. These are the beats of a sales letter for a copywriter, okay? I got that idea from Save the Cat, which is a screenwriting book by, I forgot his name. Check that book out. It's really good for writing. Anyway. Okay, cool. So we're in the catalyst section. Now when you're in the catalyst section, there's a couple little pieces inside the catalyst section that you'll actually want to do. So you see, we've already got the sales letter itself broken into 3 acts, with Act 2 split into 2 parts. Catalyst section, we're going to do, this is where you'll introduce the guru and his credibility. And then, I want to break this down further into, so you're telling the story of the catalyst. So this is the not your fault section, okay? So this is something that I'm going to be spending a lot of time developing, and I'll be trying to find ways to establish these labels and find these patterns inside our sales letter breakdowns inside the Copy Squad Inner Circle. KyleWriter.com/squad is where I do all this stuff. We got our next conference call this Tuesday. In 2 days from now, I'm going to be looking at everybody's copy and we'll be talking about it. If you want to join, that's the link below. So anyway, you'll have like a not your fault section. And so first thing is you'll see at the cred, we're leaving the lead section of a promo or sales letter, we're introducing a guru, or moving to a not your fault section. So that is the same thing as when the prescription guy says it's not your fault, it's a hormonal imbalance, blah, blah, blah. Well, later you got to explain the hormonal imbalance. You got to explain the catalyst, right? So you'll explain away the catalyst. And that will be what causes either the problem. Yeah, it'd be like what causes the problem and the solution. Man, my handwriting is not good like this, is it? So you got what causes the problem and solution. All right. So then the next thing you want to do is kind of be like in a system promo. What happens is you'll say something like, in the markets, something crazy happens. And when these 2 lines crisscross like this, we noticed a weird phenomenon. When these 2 lines crisscross, the stock soars through the roof. So that is the catalyst. Okay. That's the cause of the thing. Now what happens is the catalyst triggers the mechanism. That's the next part, okay? So we've got the catalyst, all right, triggers the mechanism. All right, so now here's where stuff like new and only, new, easy, safe, and big all becomes very important, because the catalyst has to have some sort of explanation that the reader can understand, which I label the layman's explanation. So you want to have a layman's explanation about why this is all possible today. And what I mean by layman is it means no technical jargon. Like in the Alpha 9 promo by Money Map, it's labeled a buildup of pressure. They call it a triple stack something something, and it creates a buildup of pressure that causes the stocks to explode. That's a layman's explanation that I can relay back to you because I remember, because it's very basic, no jargon. So what you could do now is establish, like, there's this like in Tim Sykes has a the Penny Stocks Summit is about, no, Weekend Trader is about a buildup of buying pressure, because there's a bunch of news that goes out on Friday, everyone rushes in on Monday, stocks explode. See how I'm very capable to explain this to you with layman's terms. I don't use any technical jargon. So your catalyst is your layman's explanation, okay? So you need to have that built in here. And I'll get more sophisticated as this. This is just something that I've been thinking about. This is what I've been working on over the last month while I've been mostly away from YouTube. And I think this is, I'll whittle this down as I talk about it more. So mechanism. Oh, I see a like. Smash likes, all the likes, 100 likes if you like this stuff. All right. So the next thing, we're moving into the mechanism section. So we've got, yeah. So man, I can see, let me show you something really quick. I started trying to beat this out, B-E-A-T, beats, into one of these. So I've got 3 acts kind of like right now. This is kind of how I'm doing it for the last promo. And what I can see is there are different sections of copy here that I want to make sure I include. And I think I'm going to build this out more until I give you a label on what piece and step you need to go through step by step through the system. I'm trying to give you like the big picture right here, because this isn't final. This is kind of like my experiment right now. It may work, it may not. But this is kind of where I'm at with it, just a bunch of note cards. So the idea is, for instance, after a credibility section, you want to tell the discovery story. I didn't even put that on the thing here. But essentially with the, I'm going to move this really quick. Okay, from credibility section under catalyst. So we got credibility right here, right? So I can't see the screen. All right, so we got credibility at the top of the catalyst section. So you lead into the credibility section. Then what you want to do is tie that credibility. You don't just want to list facts of what makes this guy credible. You want to tie that specific knowledge and information into today's opportunity. And the way you do that is with a discovery story that's related very specifically to what you are talking about today. So if you're talking about a diet pill, has to be about a time he was at a diet pill conference, or he was doing a scientific journal research thing about that specific problem. Tie that credibility into a discovery story, okay? That's whenever someone slipped the napkin across the table and it had the secret code on the back. Like, that's your discovery story, okay? So I noticed that these are always very common or appearing in sales letters. I'm going to kind of build these out further once I basically validate that they all work. And this might be like another book. I don't know. I'm really excited about this, is why I'm sharing it here. So in the mechanism section, what comes after the mechanism section? Okay, so here's something cool that I can talk about. In Save the Cat, he says once you reach this midpoint, you need to raise the stakes. So throughout this whole thing, as you're layering proof, your proof should continually be getting like, it should be like baby proof, and then it should be kind of like bigger proof. And then whenever you get to this section, it needs to be like monster proof. It needs to be like, you need to, at this point, you need to raise the stakes at this point in the sales letter. Like if you were doing $1,000 turns into $10,000, your next example should be 5,000 turns into 50,000, if that makes sense. So now you're raising the stakes, you're getting bigger. What's next? I think one of the most important things in this mechanism section is basically you're going to explain how it works. So, okay, so what's going to happen? You're going to intro your lead, right? You got to make a big promise. You're going to say, well, look, it's thanks to this new law passed by President Trump. It allows you to do something, you know, and create and collect this big promise, okay? So we've got this sort of formula that we've made out before where it's, you've got problem, I think it was problem, mechanism, and solution, okay? And now we've got like, there's a promise, and then you've got this catalyst makes it possible, but the catalyst triggers the mechanism. And the mechanism always delivers your solution. That could be weight loss, that could be money, it could be something like that. So now at this point, you've gotten them hooked. You're like, how is this possible? You spend this whole section of your copy explaining how this is possible, and then you spend this whole section of your copy explaining how it works. Okay, so in this section of your copy, you're going to get a little bit more technical, and this is where you'll drop your technical explanation. Okay, so the difference here is you're going to go into the nitty gritty and there will be some jargon. A layman explanation is going to be like, hey, it's cool, it's a big buildup of pressure, it causes stocks to explode. Well, how does that work? How does it find the catalyst? How does it spot the needle in the haystack? How does it know, right? Well, let me explain how it works. So what you see is a 300% increase in volume over the previous 50-day average causes a momentum accumulation that propels stocks upward. The specific system can spot that. It's a buildup of proprietary algorithms, and it scans millions of data points per second. So see how much more technical this section is? The technical explanation is very important for establishing that safety and credibility aspect of your explanation, where the layman's is just like, oh, I get it. That sounds exciting. Technical is like, no, this can actually work. I'm actually a very smart professional. I'm not just here blowing smoke. This is how it goes, okay? And the offer section, you can just refer to Take Their Money for the offer section. KyleTheWriter.com/book, my book, Take Their Money. This stuff, you know, it's testimonials, it's price anchor, it's bonuses, it's the intro to the service, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. So this is like my this is where my brain is right now, having just written my first and probably my first promo for Wealth Press, my new job, and my most ambitious promo by far. And I think when I was putting it all together, I was like, what's the story that drags them down? I think what's really important is when you break it into these 4 pieces, you realize you don't talk about the mechanism or how it works during this part of the promo. You don't talk about that during act 2. Let's call it 4 acts then, right? You don't talk about the mechanism until you've already fully diverged and divulged what the catalyst is and how it works. This creates a very easy and logical flow that allows you to very simply open loops, because in the lead, you're like, it's thanks to Trump's new law, right? So then what's Trump's new law? Oh, so here's how it goes. We could use Trump bonus checks as an example. You know, it's all thanks to Trump's new law, and it causes people to be able to collect checks like clockwork. Okay, we call them Trump bonus checks. So Trump bonus checks are the mechanism, and Trump's new law being the catalyst. So the first thing we're going to do is go through the law. What is the law? And maybe I could pull this up for you guys right now, because it's kind of getting a little bit vague, and I'd like to put some specifics to it. And I don't know, I don't really have much to do. Give me an amen if you're enjoying this, or a thumbs up like thingy. Also, how do you like StreamYard? Is it clear? Do you like the audio? Does this layout look cool? I'm trying to make sure I don't overheat my computer. My computer is warm. I can't stop it for some reason. It's so frustrating. It's a $2,500 Surface Book 2, and it just can't not overheat, and that's so infuriating. So anyway, see what happens when I pull up Trump bonus checks here. Okay, cool. So let's run down this little list of things to do. Okay, so this is something that me and Rob Braddock wrote. I didn't really have this outline figured out yet, but it's just a promo that's been working for over a year now. Okay, so we got the lead. Take a look at this papers. In here is a law, hides a loophole in the tax code allowing you to collect regular checks. Oh, look, we just got like a 15 comments just flew through. Nino says, I bought Take Their Money, and it's really awesome. I'm learning a lot with this book. Highly recommend Take Their Money. Thank you, Nino. I appreciate that. John, is he live every Sunday? I used to go live every single day. The reason I stopped going live every single day, I just did. I think really the reason I've been gone so much this month is because the promo that I'm writing, I just submitted everything last week, and we filmed it, and I wanted to give 110% to this new job. And again, like I said, it's the most ambitious promo I've ever written. So I wanted to have my 110% dedicated resources and my mental processes on this new promo. So I wanted to give them my very, very best. I didn't want to be distracted. So I will be going live, I think, more often now. Stefan says, love it. Strategic says, great stuff. Abhijit says, about to order the book. Absolutely. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Cool. StreamYard was very slow to bring all these comments appeared at the exact same second. It was crazy. Okay, cool. So anyway, let's talk about this. So what we're doing is we're going over this, okay? Lead to catalyst to mechanism to the offer. So we've got Trump bonus checks, all right? So here's the lead, right? Let me show you. Let me add notes, all right? If my thing will come, all right? So dark purple equals mechanism or catalyst. So we've got signed into law. So here's our catalyst. Okay, we've got a catalyst right there, a new law. Here's a special loophole. We have a mechanism allowing them to collect. So actually, when I do this, I use yellow for the big promise. So purple and gold. Remember purple and gold. This is your promise, okay? Now, what's really important about purple and gold is mechanism always delivers the promise. Okay, mechanism delivers the promise. Now, what we've done here is we've teased the mechanism. We haven't labeled it yet. Okay, so mechanism delivers the promise. Okay, now here we label the mechanism. I call them Trump bonus checks. Okay, so we see this in the Alpha 9 promo by Money Map that we just went over in the Copy Squad Inner Circle. All right, so now we label the mechanism. So look, we're right on pace, right? So look, we open with a promise, a catalyst, a mechanism. Okay. And then we have some cred, and it's tied to the headline. Okay, so this is the catalyst right away, the mechanism right away. Here's the big promise, promising you a bunch of money right away. We label the mechanism. Now, here's some cred. Here's another thing. Okay, so as we go through this, I can think of new things. You have to demonstrate. Demo. You have to do this. You have to demonstrate that big promise right away. And this isn't working down here. Okay, so you need a demo. So what do? We demonstrate the results immediately. So this is our demo. Okay, we've got this dude. There's 1, 2, 3, demo. And this would be proof times 3. Okay, guys? So there, that's it. Like in the first 10 lines, see how this is going already? Right on target. So then this is a benefit. This is like an imagine/benefits section. Okay, and what would you do? Once you've claimed, it's guaranteed. So this is just a safety emotion, right? New, easy, safe, and big. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're building up the predictability of the new event. So this is like President Bush tried to implement this in 2004. So this is like, I should probably make this a purple. So this is a teasing the catalyst. Okay, because the catalyst is the law. So we're teasing today's catalyst. So this whole next section, people are going to wonder, what's the catalyst? What is the catalyst, right? So remember, we're going from headline, catalyst, mechanism with the big promise in there in the middle, right? Catalyst introduces a promise that's delivered by the mechanism, all right? So now everyone is going to wonder a couple things. Well, what is this? What is this new law? How does it work? How can I make money? So what we're going to do first, before we get into how it works, that's like the last thing we want to share with them. First, we want to talk about, what makes this all possible? And we're basically building the case that this is real, okay? So every day you wait, people are collecting all this money. And this is just hyping that up, right? You can always count on this. This is new, easy, safe, and big. Here it is, all thanks to, this is our explanation of the catalyst. Finally, we kind of get to what it is. In the meantime, we're teasing all this other stuff about how big, safe, easy, and reliable it is. Okay, that's what all this is in between. And then we kind of spend all this time talking about the catalyst. And now right here, we have our guy. All right, this is our guru section. So then he kind of explains all this stuff. All right. The story is repeating itself now, right? It's like he's done all this stuff and now he sees the same thing happen again and blah, 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 blah. Now what we have is Trump bonus checks, okay? So I think what I'll do, I'm not going to sit here and go through the whole promo with you, but let's go back here. I think what's important is you realize that this is the flow, all right? And this is how you keep yourself from doing a bunch of junk at once that you shouldn't be doing. Go from the flow of lead. Okay, in the lead, you introduce your promise catalyst mechanism, all right? demonstrate a result that you're promising, demonstrate that it's something that you can deliver on or has happened before, or demonstrate some sort of proof that somebody else is saying that it will happen, something like that, okay? Then the next part of your copy, the next couple pages, and I might break this down even down to page numbers soon. Next part of your copy is dragging them down this question of, well, what is causing this? How is this even possible? All right, so once you get through that section, you're about 50% of the way through. At that point, they're going to wonder, okay, so this is possible. Okay, I get it. You're promising $1,000 every week. This new law has made it possible. You've explained the law. So how does it work, right? How does the mechanism or anything like that actually? How does this law allow you to take advantage? And that's where the mechanism, the magic bullet, comes into play. Like, no, the mechanism does all the work. The mechanism takes advantage. So the catalyst exploit, or no, here we go. Let's do this. We got up here, it says catalyst triggers the mechanism, or it can go backwards, okay? And that would be the mechanism exploits the catalyst, okay? That's another way to look at it. So it can be going that way, like the catalyst causes the mechanism to do something, or you can think of it as the mechanism exploits the catalyst, okay? So this mechanism exploits the new law for you and gives you the money. The mechanism always delivers the promise, okay? Gives you the money, gives you the weight loss, gives you all that stuff. Then once you've explained how the mechanism actually works, the last question is, okay, so that you made this huge promise, right? I don't believe it. Well, then you kind of prove like, oh, it is possible. It is possible because this law has actually opened the floodgates to all this money. Well, how could you get hold of that money? Well, let me show you how it works. Then you show them how it works. Okay, so I believe it. You made a big promise that I love. I believe that it's possible because of the law. You've showed me exactly how you are able to exploit that catalyst. How can I get in on this is the last question they're going to ask, all right? And that's where the offer section comes in. Now, you can see the logical flow here now. So each section has a point. The lead is to grab their attention and make a promise that makes them think, I'm interested in actually proving you wrong. Catalyst says, no, this is truly possible. Hear me out. There's a new law. Okay, well, how do you know how to take advantage of the law and nobody else knows? Well, that's where my proprietary, super specific, only developed by me and my team of genius scientists understand how to exploit this catalyst. Okay, so now I do believe you. So what good is it going to do me? Now you say, hey, you can get started today. It's all part of a new service we put together called Make Money by Doing Nothing Newsletters Subscription #1 America. Okay, so let's see. We got some comments and whatnot. Smash the like buttons if you're loving this. All right. Hina, is it Hina? You are a great teacher, Kyle. Thank you, Philip. Kyle, you're the best. Keep it up, man. Thanks, Philip. Rahat says, hey, what's up, Rahat? Any comments? Abhijit says, any comments on how to make sure you're a smooth transition through the copy? How to make sure a smooth transition through the copy? I think what's really crazy is you just transition. Like, I think that's one of the craziest things that I've saw is like the hardest thing for copywriter to do is to do the least. Don't try to make like a clever story or try to do anything super smart. Like instead, you just transition. Like for instance, like a quick recap. So I'm going to explain this new law that Trump did. Okay, so here it is. It's part of this $15 trillion Trump heist or whatever. Here's how it works. There's a bunch of money hidden offshores, and Trump's going to bring it all home. Now you've seen, like, you can just say it. Like, yeah. So as you can see, this is going to result in tons of money, blah, blah, blah. And now let me explain exactly how it works. All right. So what you'll want to do is in the middle, in the middle of each of these things, do purple. This whole thing is an open loop. Like you're just you're teasing things that you're going to explain later. But then about, right here, you want to say, in just a moment, I'll show you exactly how it works. Okay. And then right here in the mechanism section, you'll say, in just a moment, I'll show you how I let everyday Americans take advantage of this powerful new system. Right. That's an open loop in the middle there. That's an open loop in the middle there. And then the offer is where you finally start laying it on them, how they can get started and get rich with you. All right. So yeah, I think just transition. Like, don't overthink it. Just say, yo, do you see now how this could make you super rich? Do you see now how this new pill is the key to all your weight loss dreams. In just a minute, I'm going to show you something else. But before I do that, let me tell you about blah, blah, blah. Now, one thing that's still missing from my explanation here, this is a big picture, and this is a mess right now. I love it. I love looking at this stuff. So right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 items to kind of focus on and think about when we're doing the copy. But like these pieces, these little red stars are the things I want to develop in a way where it can become like, here's my dream. Let me show you the dream. I'll show you one more time this little thing. My dream is I have, right now it's 3. Right now I got 3x. I want to turn this sideways, right? I want to turn this sideways so that I have 4x, right? I got my 1 here, my 1 here, here, and here. So I've got 4. And then what I want to do is each of these cards just has a label. Like this one's labeled price anchor. This one's labeled discovery story. This one's labeled layman's explanation. I just know the label that I need to fulfill at that moment. And that way, all I'll do is I'll write it out. I'll write a section of copy is like 5 lines. I'll write 5 lines and I will tack it behind this label. And then I'll come to this one. I'll say, discovery story. How did he discover this? I'll ask the guru, how did you figure this out? I'll write 5 lines of copy. I'll tack it behind this piece of paper. All right. I want to do that for everything in here. I want to do that for every single card, where all you got to do is pick one of these cards up and you write 5 lines of copy, and that you tack it there and it's done. Then you just get them in order, like I'm showing you here on the screen, and then that's it. Like that's my dream. If you've been following me for a long time, you know I got obsessed about systems and processes. Maybe a couple months ago, I watched the Ray Kroc movie called Founder, where Ray Kroc's the guy that did McDonald's, and his obsession with like systems and processes kind of was contagious. And then getting this Copy Squad thing into systems and processes, where I didn't have to do so much every day, was very much an obsession of mine. And I realized like the ultimate freedom in the world is a plug and play system where you know exactly what you got to do. You do that thing and then you're done, right? So then once you have the cards on the board, like I have over there, once you have all the cards on the board, now you can truly be creative, because you can think of all sorts of different ways to, for instance, do the discovery story, or to do the layman's explanation, or to do the how it works in the mechanism section, or to how to build your credibility section. You know what section you got to do. Now you're truly like uninhibited in creativity to just fill in the blanks behind that card. And I think that's going to be like my magnum opus. I think my next big life's work sort of issue or book, or maybe it'll be Take Their Money 2.0, or maybe I'll just do a separate book. I don't know. But yeah. So let's read some of these questions. Strategic JB, what do you include in the offer to make it most compelling? Bonuses, time limitation, etc. That's I go into that in the book, but if you don't want to get the book, I can kind of go through a couple things. I mean, like, this stuff is boilerplate. Just pick up any sort of thing. You got testimonials, the price anchor, scarcity, urgency. Like bonuses are huge. Also, like when you do price anchors, you do price cuts. Like first you introduce a big price anchor, and then you drop like testimonials or bonuses, and then you do a price cut. And then at the bottom, always a guarantee. I saw a guarantee that's like the V3 Trader has a 2-tier guarantee. And then I put a 2-tier guarantee in my next promo too, because I really like that. I've seen people doing a couple things where they do 2-tier. One will be like money back. So it's like if you're not satisfied, we'll give you your money back. And then the second tier will be like a performance guarantee. So it's like, hey man, if you just don't like it, cool. Or they'll say something like, if we don't show you how to make money back in 30 days or 90 days or something like that. And then the second tier will be like, hey, if we don't show you how to make $25,000, this was in a 25-cent trader, then you get a second year on the house and your pick of any other product. So it's like a second performance guarantee. The systems guy, Stefan asks, what is the system guy's name? It's Ray Kroc. Like, let me just show you, bro. All right, it'd be Founder. Dude, just go watch this. It's on Netflix. Michael Keaton, Founder. This movie, it's really cool. It's just about a guy who's like all about, he just sees efficiency and he's like, oh, this could be big. And that's kind of how McDonald's got started. He starts trying to figure out a way to like replicate the system and franchise it. So it's a really cool movie. I would check that out. I'm into movies like that show like experts and pros doing what they do. So let me do another search really quick here for you. This is one that I think is it's hold on. There we go. Okay, this one. Jerry Seinfeld, comedian. This is also on Netflix. And this, for me, was a big turning point in really understanding the mindset of a professional. I've watched more interviews with Jerry Seinfeld and appearances by Jerry Seinfeld than I have actually watched episodes of Seinfeld. So, like, the dude is just, he's just constantly producing. Like, he said himself, like he's worried it's a use it or lose it sort of thing. Like he won't have it anymore if he stops creating, if he stops producing. And he's a true consummate professional at his craft. He didn't say, "Oh, I'm famous and rich. I can relax now and go on one of those beach vacations." No, he was a guy who was committed to the craft. All right. Abhijit says, "This is very valuable, especially the part where you're not overthinking transition into copy. I used to overcomplicate that." Yeah, man. It's really about taking it down to third, fourth grade reading, writing level and just doing that. One other thing, and I'm going to talk about this now. I was going to save this for another video because this kind of bugged me. This question about, I get this question, and then sometimes I get it very directly. Like the actual direct question is, if I read your book, right? Like I'd like to get into copywriting. If I read your book this weekend and I really, really study it, can I start charging $2,000 on Monday? I've gotten questions in that vein before, and I've just recently gotten it as direct and literal as that. Like, I want to get into this field. Can I read your book and then charge someone $2,000? No, I'm not one of those dudes that's going to say, go do that. I want to be a professional of the craft. I really respect this guy, Jerry Seinfeld, and the way he approaches comedy. This documentary it's on Netflix, was a huge game changer for me for like the approach of being a professional of a craft. And I try to explain like, treat copywriting like a professional language. It's a professional language like a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant. And he said, well, it's not, because those guys have to go to school for their profession. So it's not really professional. And that made me want to pull my hair out, because the truth of the matter is, just like comedy, if you're good at it, you can have fun and it pays way, way, way more money than a doctor or lawyer. Like you can, I've said it on this broadcast, I think, I'm still getting paid for promos I wrote a year ago. Like I could quit working, I could stop, and I would still be getting income. I would be getting probably more than the average American salary. So it's like, it's frustrating to hear someone say, like, they don't respect the craft. That's the thing. They want to get into it so that they can charge someone $2,000 on Monday. They want the money. And if that's your approach, then I don't want you to buy my book. I don't want you to get in the copy squad. You're going to be a bad customer and client because you have unreasonable and ridiculous expectations for a craft that's super lucrative and super like fulfilling and just so much upside, that if you're just focused on making $2,000 on Monday, then it's you're not going to have what it takes to go through the ups and downs and highs and lows of failure and success. That comes back to like that Jerry Seinfeld documentary, where he was trying to create new content and new jokes for his next special. And, you know, you get to watch him bomb, like, because he's testing new material, and you get to see him like going through like the hard parts of trying to come up with this new. He's already done the show Seinfeld. He's already become the most like successful comedian in the world. And now he's trying to create new material. And he doesn't say, well, I made $2,000 on Monday, so I am going to quit. You know, he doesn't say anything like that. Like he goes back to like, okay, I gotta create new stand-up. And that is how I think you should approach copywriting. And that's the true like freedom and benefit of the craft of copy, is if you do it like that, and you treat it like that, and you go with it with a professional mindset, you can you can make well over a doctor or a lawyer, like, and you don't have to be on a salary. Like it compounds, because say I'm collecting money from promos I wrote a year ago, and I write another one. Well, now I'm still collecting that, and then something more on top, and then I write another one, and on and on and on. You know. So let's see. A profession is a skill set. Writing copy is a skill set that can be charged because you're providing a valuable service, especially if it's producing results. Uh, yeah, yeah, exactly, Angel. Yeah, and I think that's really important. Like school, like that's so ridiculous. There are people I went to school with. We all got masters in accounting, and we all went and took the CPA exams. Okay, and I emerged with I think like $60,000 in debt, and I'm sure there are some of them who are making less money than me right now. Okay, and we all had the same education and professional, I don't know, certifications. I never became a certified public accountant. I just took the exams. Strategic asks, is your book on Audible? Not yet. I've had that question before, and the reason I haven't put it into an audiobook is because I feel like stuff like this, like we're looking at right here, right now, as I get better, I feel like I'm going to update the book with more detail. And I don't want to have an audio book that I'm going to have to re-record, because then I'll be less likely to want to record it because I've already done it once. So I feel like I either want to finalize what Take Their Money is right now, or I'll write a new book that's got even more detail like this, where I'm basically like, Take Their Money explains the emotional side of copy, where you sell directly to the emotions, right? This is a skeletal look right here, what we're looking at here. And then you plug in the new Easy, Safe, and Big into each of these little pieces. And I think that'll be a bigger project that I think will be even more valuable than understanding that we're selling to emotions. I don't think, I think you need the foundation. I think that's probably, Take Their Money will probably be like absolutely foundational. But this could help you, like once you get going, you're that middle tier and you need to move up to the next level. But yeah, so not on Audible yet, and that's why. But there's a reason for it. Not because partly because I'm lazy, but because I don't want to have to re-record it again if I update the book. I just know that I wrote that book after about a year of experience in the field, and I know I'm going to get better. I know I'm going to have more days like this. I'm going to have more ideas like this, where it's like this page right here with all this mess on it. I'm going to be able to organize this. When my brain gets all of this stuff into a logical flow, that's going to be like, you can just plug in your ideas into these little stars, and that's it. That's your sales letter. I'm really excited about that. That's kind of what I'm hoping will be my next step in my professional career. That's another thing. Like as a professional, you don't read one book and you can just start charging on Monday and that's your life from now on. As a professional, you want to get better. You want to 1% increases better every day kind of stuff. Zach, anyone who bought the original book, will they get access to the second edition, or will they have to buy again? Yeah, man. If there's a second edition of the book, I got everybody's email in my, my what do you call that thing? Account that takes the money, the purchasing thing. So I'll have everyone's email. I'll just email everyone the second edition if I come up with a second edition. Let's see. You can always outsource the reading for Audible. Just consume many books that way. I hear you. It's similar to Agora's copyboarding, eh? Yeah, it is. I mean, so I obviously heard about copyboarding from Joe Schriefer when I was at Agora, and then I heard about the beat sheet and the board of cards from the book Save the Cat. And it's very possible that maybe Joe had that idea from Save the Cat as well. I'm not sure where he got it from originally, but we had an exercise in copyboarding where we took sticky notes and we outlined objections on the wall with sticky notes. And that was a really cool thing. I feel like the cards will take it further because I have the label and then I actually write the section on the card and I can put it there behind that label and I can write alternates or different ideas. You can feel like there's a little bit, it's like one step further, right? A little more in depth. And I think that could be a big game changer. Outsource the reading for Audible. I'm thinking about that now that you said it. It's kind of in my brain. I have another thing I want to say. I want a little like a disclaimer because Zach asked if you'll get the second edition if I write the second edition. I think this question. So I am not very tech savvy. So like even just trying to answer your question, I'm like, yeah, I got everybody's information. It's on it. I have your email somewhere because you bought it, right? So it's somewhere, and I don't really understand how to use that stuff. Folks who ask me like why ClickFunnels order form page is set up the way it is, I don't really know. Like why doesn't, like when you click to get the order upsell of the research videos and it doesn't update the price, I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't do that, but it says in there the price is blank for the research document. So if you click that thing, that's how much it's going to charge you. Because I've gotten emails about that. It's not a secret plan by me. I'm not like a brilliant mad scientist. Like I don't know how to change that. Someone else will ask me like, why does it ask for my name and address? And is it a physical copy or is it? It's digital. It's digital, but the order form has name, address, and email, and it just does. So it's like again, I don't really. I just collect the money from the thing. Like whatever it's set up as is kind of how it's set up as. As a matter of fact, I kind of think about doing away with ClickFunnels because I don't think I need it. I don't use any of those features. I set up those like 2 pages, and that's like all I've done. And I'm paying $100 a month for that, which I think is just ridiculous. And I think I can't even, oh yeah, I can't even use PayPal. Like they want to, I think they have to, I don't know. See, that's how dumb I am about this stuff. I can't use PayPal, I'm pretty sure, because I'm using Stripe. So, Sebastian, is there another organization on par with Agora as far as teaching upcoming copywriters? Good question. So Agora is a giant company, and Agora Financial is the only company with the name Agora in it, but it's also got like Money Map and Legacy Research, Agora Financial, Stansberry. So they're all like in that Agora universe, but Agora Financial has the word Agora in it. All those companies are going to have really killer copywriting training. But so I think that's really cool that you asked that question, because I think, and I've shared this with people who have asked me about working with me, as based on this promo I just put out, which should be coming out at the end of October from this new company I'm working with, WealthPress. I would like to be that next stop. I would like to be the next trainer of great copywriters and create a world-class copy team. And that is kind of basically my, I don't know, call it a 5-year goal. I think 5-year goals are stupid because 2 years ago, hell, 3 years ago, I didn't know what Agora Financial was or copywriting. So it just goes to show. So Philip, what if your client is not satisfied with result from copy? What to do? Return the money, make better copy for free? That's a hard one. I've never done copy for a client in a freelance setting. I've always worked in-house somewhere. And I did that on purpose because I've never felt like, let me think, I don't like this idea of read a book, go charge people. I actually am more of a fan of read a book to help you build the craft. And I think working a job first is really important. There's a book called So Good They Can't Ignore You by Cal Newport. And he talks about this a little bit. He talks about building career capital. And the thing about career capital is like people want control, but they try to get control without having the actual career capital to cash in for that control. So a lot of people think like, I'm going to quit my job and go live a digital nomad lifestyle, but they haven't built the career capital, which is another word for skills, to go out and make money as a freelance digital nomad or whatever. This book is a really good book, a resource on the way of thinking about that. But I've never worked for freelance. I wanted to build my career capital and build my skill set before I went to strangers and said, let me charge you for copy. I've written like blog stuff and stuff like that on Upwork. Like years and years ago, I tried to do that. It was not very fulfilling. I didn't make a lot of money. So I'm not a very savvy person on the question of like what to tell clients. Let me think. If they don't like it, here's what I've had to do at my jobs. If they don't like it, I insist that I'm the expert. Like, hey, listen, like that's why you hired me. I'm the expert. If you don't think this copy is good enough, then why'd you hire me? It's kind of, that's a little bit more adversarial than you probably want to take. It should be more on the lines of, look, I have an answer for this. Because I've done this before. Okay. When someone doesn't like the copy, here's what I do because I've had to do this. Someone said, what's with this guarantee where you'll give them a second year for free? Nobody wants to get a second year for free if they don't like it. And I'll say, look, here is example of multi-million-dollar sales letters. They all have one thing in common. It's this guarantee. They made 7 figures. I'm telling you, it's not going to stop us from making 7 figures. So that's an actual conversation I had to have, right? So every time something like that happens, I back it up because anything I write because I've seen it somewhere else and I know it will work. And I've like seen it as a tactic or some sort of structural thing in another sales letter. Like I'm not making this stuff up. I've seen it somewhere. So anytime that anyone says I don't like this, I can point to another promo that's made multiple millions of dollars and say, look, they did it and they made millions of dollars. So if you think you're better or smarter than them, then you can write the copy. I don't say it like that, all adversarial, but like I point to them, proof. I have proof to back up why they should do it this way. I don't write copy willy-nilly, and neither should you. You should do it based on tried and true practices that work. All right. Patiel, I like the way you go through. I like the way you're through the process of promos and what it takes to be a copywriter. Thank you very much. I like the way you say nice things. That's very nice. You appreciate it. Strategic. I love the card method. I'm going to begin using that right away. Let me know how that goes if you have any developments. Thrive Cart is better. It's 500 USDs for a lifetime shopping cart, says Stefan. So I think I looked at that. Anything that requires me to do any coding, even like WordPress, like I did have to take their money on WordPress and this $5 thing called eJunkie. I had it on there for the longest time. And I might even go back to that. It's like $5. And I just put a button on my WordPress thing. But I'm really just terrible at technology. The reason we're using StreamYard today is because I'm so bad at figuring out how to make my OBS not fry my computer and overheat it that I just had to give up because I don't know how to fix it. And I'm finding right now, I'm touching the back of my computer screen. It's hot as fire. Just, I don't know. I can't stop it from being hot as fire. It's going to melt my, like, now I'm like mad about this purchase. Like, what an expensive computer that can't do anything without overheating. Angel, so you're looking to be a copy chief. Cool, Kyle. Absolutely. Like, I think that's my next thing is like, I'm putting together all this information, systems, and these processes to create, my ideal is to become like the Ray Kroc, to become like the McDonald's of copywriting, where you give me a guru, a product, and a market, and I can just plug it into my Speedy system, and out pops a promo in, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks. Like I just can just do it, and if I can do it, then I can teach other people how to do it. And if I can do that, then we can have a world-class copy team that actually really produces powerful, like crazy results. Because we're all able to just, all we got to do then is if we do it like this, then all we're doing is sitting around and pitching ideas to put behind these individual cards, right? And for anyone who's just tuning in, I'll show you the cards one more time. I'm going to get out of here. It's been an hour. I just love doing these lives. I couldn't do them because I was so like nose of the grindstone on my last project. But yeah, so here's the discovery story card. So if you have a copy team, if it's me and 3 of you sitting in a room and I go, guys, I'm just stuck on this discovery story. I've got a guy who has like some hedge fund experience. He worked as a governor for like a week, and then he's also been in like 2 or 3 movies. Like, how do I turn that into copy? Then we can sit there and just bounce ideas. We know that in the discovery story, these certain elements have to exist. Or I can say, like, how do I describe this, the layman's explanation? How do I describe something as complicated as options in like 2 or 3 words, right? And you have a bunch of people in the room, or I already know how to answer some of these questions. I can say, what's a new way to do this? I'm tired of writing this. Like, how can I write it in a new way that's exciting and fresh? We can bounce ideas like that, Zayad Ahmed says, hey brother, I suggest having a CTA button above the fold on your page. It's proven to convert better. You are probably right. I don't think that's you're probably like I'm 90% sure you're right. I think one of the things that I have the luxury of doing with the book is twofold. One, I don't want to sound like I don't care about the success of the book. I'm very happy and pleased that people love the book, but I don't need the book to sell. I don't need to sit down and obsess about optimizing it, because the book, I am not a guru. I'm a copywriter, right? I'm not a guru. I don't touch the money that comes in from the book. I make my income is copywriting. So I don't really obsess about optimization. That's one. And then the second thing, I had twofold. One was, and I've already forgot the second one. Yeah. But essentially, you're probably right about that CTA thing. You're probably 100% right. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to change anything or do anything. Oh, the second thing is I don't even promote. I don't pay for ads. I just do the YouTube channel. And sometimes I go on podcasts. Angel says, I see what you mean. You're creating your own methodology for training copywriters from scratch based off your knowledge and experience. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Exactly. All right. So I'll hang out for like 1 or 2 more seconds, see if any more chats come through. This is the StreamYard, I think, has a delayed reaction when it comes to people's messages coming through. So I'm going to look at my YouTube channel and see if there's anything coming through. All right, here we go. There are some. Chase says, Kyle, if you have all day long, what would you do to compress time and get good at copywriting fast? Yeah, I like that question. So if you want to get good at copywriting fast, you have to practice. And he talks about this in that book, So Good They Can't Ignore You. He also talks about it, I think, in Tipping Point. Malcolm Gladwell talks about it in Tipping Point. And a big book for me is Deep Work. But you're asking, how can you get good at copywriting fast? What you need to do is think about how many. They talk about this in the book. Man, all right. I don't want to bog you down with this. I think it's it's Outliers, not Tipping Point. I'm sorry. Okay, these books all say something very similar. In Atomic Habits, he talks about, I think it was this book, how many. So not how long. So the term fast, okay, let's talk about the term fast. The term fast is a time thing, but you cannot affect the passage of time or like how quickly you do something. What you can do instead is affect how many you do something. So if you want to get good at copywriting, the way to get good at copywriting faster in a shorter time frame is to increase, like multiply your how manys. Okay, so you want to compress time. You need to if more manys equals in a shorter time equals learning copy faster. So you don't want to think about how long it'll take to get good at something. You want to think about how many it will take to get good at something. So that's why my thing is, and I stole this from Joe Schrafer, read a piece of copy, write a piece of copy, come up with an idea. And you should do this kind of every day. For me, it's not super structured. Like I do have like a little book where I've tried to write this stuff down, but some days my little book, I can't hold like all the stupid ideas I get. But so you basically daily do this, and as many times as you can read and write copy, the more iterations or attempts that you do, the better you'll get faster. I think another thing is failure. Fail a lot. I think failing is like underrated, and nobody wants to feel failure, and you can't put it in a sales letter. Can't say, hey, the key to this is going through a lot of hardship. Can't put that in a sales letter. No one will buy it. But I think success is a horrible teacher. I kind of learned that early at Agora. I had a lot of beginner's luck. I got to work under Evaldo too, so he was really keeping me straight. Like he was basically keeping me like anytime I'd write something stupid, he would correct me. So, he's like the most successful copywriter at Agora or in Agora history. So that's a guy who taught me like what to look for and what to look at, stuff like that. And then I kind of went off from there. So I had a chance to fail a lot inside of Agora where no one ever saw that. I had a lot of beginner's luck too. And so I didn't get a lot of failures in the public space until my third or fourth promo actually bombed. It just didn't do well at all. It was my first attempt at a system promo and it was really bad. I know exactly why now, but that was because I had to reflect and think, like, why did this go so badly? So I think failing, and that's a tough one because you don't want to fail with other people's money. You don't want to fail with clients. So that's why, boom, I can tell you right now, Copy Squad Inner Circle, KyleTheWriter.com/squad. That's a place to bring your copy and sort of fail in a safe space where we'll talk about what's wrong with the copy, what can be improved, stuff like that. So that's one resource for you. Okay, cool. Let's see. Sebastian, what resources can be used to find high-performing copy in whatever niche I choose to get into? Is that in your book? No, Sebastian, that's not in the book. Simply put, All you got to do is sign up for your email. Sign up for an email list of a person that you want to. I think I can show you this. This shouldn't be anything bad. Right. So here's my inbox for most of the copywriting stuff that I like to look at. So we've got over here. Let me show you something. Here's Paradigm. I can almost guarantee you 25-cent trader is going to be in one of the top space ads. So I'm going to click this. This is 25-cent trader, right? I'll open it for you. See, this is a new headline. So there's a new headline, but this is the 25-cent.
My name is Nomi Prince. It's Tuesday.
Anyway, that's 25-cent. Oh yeah, there is at the top. You can see it. 25-cent trader. Okay, right? So that's the top space ad. That means that's the one that they want most, like, to be seen and clicked on. So that means it's the highest performing one. So here's another one about a document. I think this is a different promo. Yeah, it's a different promo. HR passes house. So this is a catalyst, right? This is a catalyst that causes an opportunity to make a ton of money. Here's the catalyst. Man, this is going on forever, right? We're over an hour now, but I'm having fun. If you guys are going to hang out, cannabis checks. Okay, so this is this is basically Trump bonus checks. This is exactly what Trump bonus checks is. Okay, so they passed a bill. He shows the bill. Most people don't know you can collect billion from this. A loophole. Look at this. Thanks to a loophole in the farm bill, this is basically Trump bonus checks, cannabis checks. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so that's a different one. So there's one that's working. We know it works and why it works because if you've seen Trump bonus checks, which has been running for a year and 7 months now, I think, that's why they would want to use that sort of format. Okay, top of this one, top space ad. 25-cent trader. What's down here? Let's scroll down. Does the perfect stock exist? So this is another promo that's in the middle, probably performing fairly well. $12.3 trillion tech. Yeah. So boom, boom, boom. So that's the order of how well these promos are probably performing. This is the best one. It's at the top. Okay. So let's go down again. Well, we just looked at that one. Let's go down again. Oh, look what's up top. It's the 25-cent trader. Are you starting to see a pattern here? Obviously, this one is bringing in the millions, all right? So all I did is I signed up for these dudes' email list, Paradigm Press. I don't know if you can see this. Got my Paradigm Press coffee mug right here. Proof tastes good. Anyway, let's go to, I want to show you one other thing then. So I can probably show you this too. I've got a little resource doc, and I think I can put this in the show notes or a comment. I have... Oh man, in my Google Docs, is it in this one? Let me just give you a list of places to sign up if you're interested in financial. So this is easy. Just sign up for all their email lists. How do I put this in the notes or something? How do I do this? I'm just going to put it in a comment. I don't know if this will work, but it's a long thing. Chat. I hope this works. I hope you can see what I sent. It broke it up. It broke it up, but you should be able to like just copy and paste all that and string it together. But those are the email list. You sign up the email list, and then you just click through. So this is Paradigm Presses. You know which promo is working best for them. Here's 7-Figure Publishing. Okay, so we go to 7-Figure Publishing. We click this. This is their like top 5 sort of like headline style thing where they try to get you to. These are their best promos right now. Millionaire Investor. All right, so Kevin Harrington. All right, we go down to 7-Figure Publishing again. Only marijuana stock you'll ever need. Click here for breaking story. Open that. 7-Figure Publishing. See what this one was. Amazing 17-second video reveals key to tech fortune. So let's see. We got, this is Bonner and Partners. This isn't even Agora. This is a different company. This is Choose Yourself. So this isn't 7-Figure Publishing either. This is a different imprint. This is actually 7-Figure. Okay, so that means these are like affiliate deals sort of style, like where they're pushing like partners. Let's see if we can find what their highest performing thing is right now. Wait. What was that? Trump's coded message. This is Trump bonus checks. See right there? See the promise? So this is a space ad for Trump bonus checks. President Pence. This is a re-lead for Trump bonus checks that Rob Braddock wrote, showing what happens if like President Pence becomes the president. And then right here, it kind of transitions back into Trump bonus checks copy. Geez, there it is. There's the original thing. So you see the re-lead? This is the original opener for Trump bonus checks, but you re-lead it by putting all this new stuff up top, kind of makes it fresh. So you can see right there is Trump bonus checks. I get paid if this sells something. That's why copy is so great. All right, you see what I'm doing here though? You can see I'm just going through their stuff. Holy Salt beats chemo. That's a cancer one. Seniors have collected thousands. 1 minute demonstration. So what's this? Paradigm Press. Part-time job. Yeah, so this is probably Tim Sykes.
Are you a retiree?
Yeah, okay, cool. I think I'm like beating the horse to death right now. I think you get it, right? All right, I'm gonna go back up and look at more comments. See. Angel. By the way, Kyle, congrats on your interview with David Garfinkel. It definitely was 2 thumbs up. Thanks very much, Angel. I appreciate that. Zach says he's in the same boat as Chase. I forget which one the comment was. Now I can't find it. Chase says, oh, learn fast. Okay, cool. Zach says there's another one going around called medical rebate checks. There's tons of check promos. They just work. Sebastian says, thanks for the help and content. Bez says, proof tastes good. Love that. I got that from Sam Ovens. I mean, I can't steal anything. I got to always give credit. I saw that Sam Ovens, the consulting.com guy, has this video where he's like this cheetah, how to build like a machine or something like that. It was a funny video. I love that video. But he, in between every section, he goes, proof tastes good. All right. I think that's all I got for today, guys. Abhijit says, thanks again. Really appreciate everything you've been sharing. Thanks. I'm glad to come back, and I've been gone for a minute. Now I'm kind of scrolling. This Obama one appeared twice, so maybe it's something. This is all I do, man. It is which things appear multiple times, open them all. If it comes up multiple times, then you know it's working. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, that's it. So this is what we talked about today. Patel says, is it Patel? Patel? This is what I mean. Things you do make it easy to see how copy game works. All right, cool. I hope this was helpful. I need to break this video probably into a couple where we talk about how to find swipes, how to get good at the craft, and this 4-part system here. I'm gonna wait 1 second. No, that's it. No more questions. I gotta stop or I'll be here for 4 more hours. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this first run with the StreamYard program. Okay, so how do I get rid of this? Boom. Okay, let me move this over here. So StreamYard, it worked pretty good, right guys? Give me a thumbs up if you like StreamYard and sign up to, wait for it. Copy Squad Inner Circle if you want like more access, hands-on work with your copy, learning to move faster, get more stuff going quickly. Check it out there. Philip says, I think with your free content and advice, everyone can become a good copywriter in a year. Just my opinion. Really appreciate your time and insights. Completely awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. That's all I got for today. Join the Copy Squad if you want. I think, again, that's another, I can't, it's reversed. So how do I do this? There. A cool thing is if you don't join, it's okay because I make the money off of writing the copy. And that's what I really want to push is that I would love to have you guys in there, but it's not something I have to like break my back, like shoving down your throat. So I can give away a lot of free stuff because it doesn't affect me to do that. It doesn't hurt me. And maybe some of you will buy the book. All right, for real this time, I'm signing off. Thanks so much for tuning in. Peace out, Copy Squad.